Welcome everybody, here's another unboxing for Wave 5. This one is for the Rebel Fighter Squadron Pack 2. And unfortunately I didn't get my scissors out, so I'm just going to have to be a little bit more brutish than normal. Sorry for the extra fighting and wrestling with it. So here we go. So bases for the different ships as we would expect. Looks like there's the Ghost. It's nice that they actually include, unlike the rogues and villains, they actually include two of each one. Here are the Z95s. E-Wings. The E-Wings are really great. So I'll probably actually spray paint these like I did with my other fighters. Some people go ahead and get extra fancy with them, but I don't mind just spray painting them. So those are the different ships, and then here are the different brace icons and dials as we would expect. And then here are the go ahead and the cards. These Z95s, the thing is like, since there's so few ships that have Swarm in the Rebel fleet, now that we know that there's that one B-Wing, maybe it could, but that's a unique squadron, so you can only have one of them. But these Z95s, they really don't work great on their own. You really want to have like a large mass of them, but it's just, they're cheap, but the 3 red dice definitely make me really concerned. As well as, they don't have bomber, and you just will go for an X-Wing. Finally, another leader that has scatter, something very rare in the Rebel fleet. But this is a pretty cheap hero, actually, only 14 points, and you still get a scatter. So that may actually be a little bit more worthwhile. The E-Wings, they're essentially souped up X-Wings. They're one faster, and they have snipe. So that's definitely going to be interesting to see how snipe works in gameplay. Corn Horn. He's rogue, is definitely great. He's pretty expensive, 22 points, and he actually doesn't have any text ability. He's just a bomber rogue with snipe 4. He's unlike the other hero X-Wings that have black dice like Luke and Wedge Antilles, he only has a red dice. So you're definitely going to want to have that bomber command center in order to get that reroll. But the snipe 4 and rogue are definitely really great, but 22 points is pretty darn expensive. Alright, so we have the base version of the Ghost, essentially. The Relay 1 is going to be kind of interesting. The Strategic could be useful, allowing you to move those tokens. You really, if you have all or most of your objectives are objective token based, then you really may want to go ahead and throw one of these in. It's 15 points, but it could really give you a huge leg up when moving those objective tokens to keep them away from the enemy and provide them for you. The Ghost, super expensive, 28 points, only 1 brace, but it's rogue, and even better, it allows 2 friendly squadrons to gain rogue. That's really useful. You imagine having like a Wedge Antilles shooting out with 6 blue dice on rogue now. And it's also a blue black. Unfortunately, it's not bomber itself, but it's definitely pretty useful. And for 28 points, I think you'll still see it out there. It's a great squadron strategy. The Lancer Pursuit Craft, another rogue bomber for the Rebels, black die, which is good. not such great health. It's only 4, but speed is higher. So essentially a little bit more of a faster, more anti-squadron capable Y-Wing. And of course the Rogue is always nice. 22 points, also pretty expensive. It slows down the speed of enemies around them by 2. Pretty useful. It has Grit and Rogue itself. 2 blue die, so you know you're not going to be doing a lot of damage, but it'll probably be pretty accurate. And what's nice about a bomber is that it has this scatter. So you have the 4 health, but you can still do the scatter. So overall, I'm looking forward to using these ships. I was disappointed that the strategic didn't involve moving an officer or an admiral from one ship to the other. I really thought that would be a cool thing. But overall, I think this is going to be a fun addition, and I'm looking forward to playing with it. So I hope this has been helpful. Bye.